أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear students, good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the Islamic University of Gaza. And I'm so pleased to congratulate you on two things. The first one is finishing the high school or the secondary school successfully. And the second thing is joining the Islamic University, particularly joining the English department. I think that you made the right decision when you decide to join the Department of English at IUG. It's a very powerful department, very reputable, very famous. And this department actually has graduated a lot of successful graduates. We'll talk more about the graduates that we feel very proud of, and I'll give you a lot of examples later on. As you know, today is an introductory session. I'm not going to teach. As I said, I'd like to express my pleasure that I meet you online. I really wanted to see you, and I'm sure you are eager to see your professor or your teacher face to face. But unfortunately, because of COVID-19 and this epidemic, unfortunately, we couldn't meet face to face. But hopefully, in the coming future, we'll meet in class and we have more opportunities to talk to each other face to face. As I said, the main objective of this introductory session is to talk to you, of course, online. This is a recorded session, but hopefully in the coming classes, we have live session. We are going to use we are going to use the this program, inshallah, and it's going to be live. Okay, I mean the Zoom program, and I'm sure you want to know more about the course. What is it about? What should we study? How can we succeed and get high grades in this course? And I'm sure we are eager to learn more about our teacher, his credentials, his teaching experience. And I'm here, as I said, to share with you my experience. First of all, my name is Dr. Abid Rabbu Abu Alayyan, and I have like 20 years of teaching experience. I have taught in the Department of English for almost 20 years, and I taught so many courses, including oral communication skills 1, oral communication skills 2, writing, reading, pronunciation, TEFL, teach English as a foreign language, methodology, grammar, you name it. Writing 1, writing 2, I taught so many courses. So you are in safe hands. I'm an experienced teacher, and you know, so your evaluation, your the quizzes are going to be, inshallah, fairly easy. The second thing, if you want to know more about me, I have my CV online. You can just check and have a look on it. It's available on my website, I mean university website. But generally speaking, I got my BA in English from the Islamic University of Gaza. I got my master's degree from St. Mike's College in Vermont, United States of America. And I got my PhD, my doctorate from University of Massachusetts. And this was back in not 19. I mean, the master's was in 1998, but my doctorate was in 2011. Talk about the course, and I'm sure you want to learn more about the course, the main components of the course. And as you can see, oral communication skills 1, and this is the number of the course. Okay, let's talk about the agenda for this session. We'll be talking about the course description, the course outline. What is it about? The main objectives of the course. Topics to be covered that we are going to study along with other material from the internet and other sources. I remember something. Do you think I speak very fast? Do you want me to slow down a little bit? Okay, I remember that you are first year student. We call them freshman students. And I taught freshman students for almost 20 years. So I don't remember that one of the students said, teachers, you speak very fast. And I'll make sure to use simple words, not to complicate your lives on day one of school. No. I'm just, as I said, this is a welcoming session, and all the components in this session are not going to be part of the final exam. So relax and have fun. And I just want to introduce to you the curriculum, the textbook, the policy of the course, etc., etc. So relax and just enjoy watching this video. Learning outcomes, assessment strategy. I'm going to talk about grades and how I assess my students, questions and answers. Maybe in live sessions you'll be able to ask questions, but if you can't now, you just can go ahead to to our group, and you just raise your question and I'll be more than happy to answer the questions. Now, the course description, as you know, the main aim of the course is to develop your listening and speaking skills. So basically what we mean by oral communication skills, we mean two things, mainly two things, alongside with other things. Listening and speaking. Okay, so in order to give you enough practice to listen to native speakers as well as non-native speakers who speak this language, and to give you more opportunities, more room to practice. And I'm sure by the end of the course, your listening skills are going to be developed tremendously, inshallah. So as I said, speaking also, how to improve your fluency. And I'm sure, deadly sure, that the dream of every and each one of you to speak English fluently. That's why you joined the English department. You joined the English department because you want to speak the language, you want to write the language very fluently. And we are here to help you out to achieve this goal, how to improve your speaking skills. I know some of you would say, teacher, I don't have enough self-confidence. I don't have enough linguistic competence. By competence, I mean kafa'a or knowledge. Okay, so my role as a teacher from day one to guide you how to develop this competence and this fluency. So as I said, we have a lot of listening and speaking activities and critical thinking. Critical thinking, how to evaluate certain opinions, some facts, some opinions, etc., and to know how to support or to oppose certain opinions. So also part of developing your listening skills is to expose you, to give you more opportunities to listen to native speakers. What I mean by native speakers, I mean Americans, I mean Canadians, British or Brits, or people from other nationalities like Japanese, Chinese, because this is an international language. I mean, you are not going to use it with only with native speakers. You might one day come across or meet somebody literally on the street who's from China or Japan or elsewhere. So, but he speaks English. You speak English. You have a language in common. So why don't you speak to him or to her? So we are going to listen to varieties of, let's say, Englishes. I mean, the Australian English, the Canadian English, the British English, the American English, or English of North America. North America, I mean Canada and United States. So basically, we talked about different native speakers as well as foreign accents, non-native speakers. People coming from the expanding circle, okay, like China, Japan, Guatemala, Caribbean, Vietnam, Taiwan, etc., etc. And also how to communicate effectively and appropriately. Effective to mean the language, to have the linguistic competence, grammar, vocabulary, and appropriately to know how to use these expressions in the right way. So I'll talk more about this, inshallah, in the coming classes. So as I said, this was the, or that was the course description or outline. And these are some of the topics that we are going to discuss, inshallah, later on. Okay, so basically the second week, this is, as I said, the first week. We don't have a lot of the classes, but as I said, you know, we need to know each other and to know about the course, about the textbook, where to meet, how to meet, you know, to make you very comfortable and to familiarize you with the course and the professor, as well as the materials, of course. So week 2, greetings and introductions. How to greet people both formally and informally, and how to introduce yourself and how to introduce others. Okay, and this is a very important skill, especially when it comes to initiating or starting a conversation with people you don't know. Okay, at the second week, week 3, nice to meet you. And you know, when you introduce yourself to someone, we usually say nice to meet you, and the answer is nice to meet you too. All right. Week 4, tell me about your family or family. Americans, they say family. If you want to say family, it's fine. Family is fine too. So you need to talk about your siblings, your brothers and sisters, your parents, okay? You know, but as I said, generally speaking, you know, people usually ask about how many brothers and sisters do you have. You don't have to give like a lot of details, but you know, feel free to talk about, you know, about your family, because you are so proud of the family that you belong to. Do you know where it is or where it is? Okay, do you know where it is? If somebody asks you about the post office, about a restaurant, about a hotel, about a bank, you know, somewhere that he or she is looking for, we need to learn how to guide people, how to tell them the location of a certain place. Week 6, cultural events. I'm sure people from other cultures other than the Islamic Arab culture are so eager to know about your cultures, about your customs, the traditions, your beliefs. Okay, and I'm sure you have the same feeling for them because you want to learn about them as well. Okay, week 7, how do you like the city? If somebody comes to Gaza or Ramallah or Jerusalem, you want to know about the impression of this person. So basically you are going to ask him or her or ask them if they are a group of people, how do you like the city? And I'm sure they are going to talk um, good stuff. No, good stuff about your city. Week 8, we have a midterm exam. I don't like to talk about exams now, and I'm sure you don't want me to talk about exams either from day one, okay? Because I myself don't like exams, and I'm sure you don't like them either. So let's skip this topic. We have plenty of time to talk about, exams and other stuff. Now, week 9, how do you like the city? So you ask about the opinion of someone about a certain city like Gaza, Khan Yunis, Ramallah, Nablus, Bethlehem, etc. Solving problems, I'm sure when you face a problem, you seek help, you want help from other people. And I'm sure sometimes, people, they ask you to help them solve problems. So we need to learn the language used um, on how to solve problems. How do you feel? I'm sure how do you feel is another way of asking about your opinion. Okay. So if you want to ask about the opinion of someone, basically you need to go ahead and ask about her opinion. So basically, how do you feel is another way of asking about someone's opinion. Like, what do you think? What is your opinion? Okay, what are your thoughts on such and such? So you basically ask somebody about his opinion related to something that you really want to hear, to know his or her opinion about. Now, what do you mean is like, when somebody, I mean, your conversation partner or your conversation interlocutor, the one that you speak to, says something and you are not sure of its meaning. You didn't get the message, you didn't get it. So basically you don't understand what he is talking about. So in this case, you can say, what do you mean? Because you need clarification. So one way of asking for clarification, and usually when somebody asks me this question, what do you mean? I make sure to use different words or to explain it or to make it more plain or very simple to the person or to give examples in order to make sure that he or she understands what I'm talking about. Week 13, how about coming with us, with us, with us? How about coming with us? I think, it's an invitation. You invite somebody to go, for example, with you, go shopping, um, or go horse riding, or, hiking, etc., etc., or you invite somebody over to a restaurant to go with you to enjoy a meal with him or with her. Okay, so this is one way. I think it's informal. What about coming with us? And we are going to learn more ways of inviting people, both formally and informally. And this actually is very important if we want to speak English fluently. We need to know how to invite people because we like to invite people over to our places. As we want them, we want, in the same way we want to be invited. I'm sure all of you are social people. You like to be invited, to invite people to your place, to enjoy the food with you, and you enjoy the food with them. Okay, so basically, we are a sociable human being, and I'm sure we like to invite people, and we want people to come to our place and to know us better. Um, Goes around, comes around. I like this expression that I learned from one of my American friends. He invited me over to his place, and you know, um, 3 weeks later, I invited him to my place. And then he taught me this expression: comes around, goes around. When you invite people, they are going to invite you back. So when you help somebody, he is going to help you back. So this is the meaning of this expression: comes around, goes around. Could you help me? And I'm sure there are often times that we seek help. We need help, especially if you visit a foreign country. You are not familiar with the academic system. You are not familiar with the library. You don't know where the post office is, or the restaurant, or the hotel, okay, or somewhere else. And you, approach people and you ask them to help you. So could you help me? This is, no, it's a formal way of asking somebody to help you. And I'm sure they are going to be very happy to help you and support you. The course project, I guess I need to talk about this. It's not difficult, but I'm sure you'll enjoy doing this project. And I dedicated grades that we are going to talk about it. You can do it at home and take your time to do this project. And the main objective actually of conducting this research, it's not a research, it's a project, is to give you more practice, more research to know how to find knowledge that you are looking for. And I'm sure you'll enjoy doing it. Okay, I'll talk in details about projects and assignments, but I don't think this is the right time. This is not the right time to talk about assignments, quizzes, and exams. So we talked about the topics that we are hopefully going to cover in this this semester, and I'm sure we'll bring some material from the internet that you'll enjoy, inshallah. And this is the textbook that we are going to use. The title of the textbook is Person to Person, Person to Person. I'm going to show you later on the cover page of the textbook. And I'm going to upload it on the Moodle so you have easy access to this PDF file. It's very, very simple. Okay. Again, the main objective of this course, Oral Speaking 1, is to develop your listening and speaking skills. As I said, the class time is not enough to give you enough practice that you need, but you can practice at home. I'll give you hundreds of websites that you can have access to and to practice at home. As you know, the class time is very limited and we have a huge, huge number of students. So I don't have time for every and each one of you, but hopefully I'll do my best to know your names and to know your level of language proficiency, your problems, so I can help you out to solve these problems. And as I said, I'm here to help you and, help you to practice the language and to learn the language. When we say developing different language competencies, we talk about pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar. I'm not a grammar, I'm not a grammar teacher. I guess your teacher is Mr. Bassam, but sometimes we need to say a sentence or an expression that we need to use. I mean, this expression should be grammatically correct or valid. So my role is very simply just to draw your attention to the fact that we need to use the right tense, in order to make a meaningful sentence or expression. So these are the competencies. Competencies means like كفاءات أو معرفة أو so this expression might be unfamiliar to you, but it's very useful. To increase self-confidence. As I said, my role here as a teacher is to help you out to increase or develop your self-confidence. And I'm sure some of you don't have this self-confidence. Others, they have self-confidence as well as linguistic competence to speak the language fluently. And my role here, I totally understand that you come from high school or secondary school, and you hadn't had enough time or opportunities to practice the language, to speak the language, in classes, secondary school classes. So speaking as well as listening skills had been neglected a lot. I totally understand this, very understanding. But the thing is that, you need to start speaking the language. And I'm sure whenever you meet somebody and this person asks you about your major or specialization, and you say it loudly and proudly that your major is English. So this person expects you to speak English very fluently, and you need to work on that. You need to work on speaking English from now on. You need to find somebody who is interested to practice the language. I know time of Corona is not easy, but you can find some people online, that you can practice with. So these are the skill objectives, developing your listening and speaking. Public speaking or presentations, I'm sure in the coming years, when you become like sophomore or second year students or junior student, third year students, and even senior students, fourth year students, a lot of professors, they are gonna ask you to make a presentation, to conduct a research and to stand in front of the class and to share your ideas, your research with your colleagues. So basically, we need to work on that to give you some tips, some guidelines, how to make a good presentation. We talked about self-confidence, and self-confidence actually can be increased, can be developed by practice. The more you practice, the more self-confidence that you'll have. Okay, let's move to the following or second slide, value objectives. And we talked about the other objectives, and I guess this is an important objective. If you remember, I talked about communicating with people coming from different countries, coming from different cultural backgrounds. Okay, and the thing is that these people are different from us. They are human beings still, not only in terms of the color of their skin, the shape of their eyes. They are different in their values, their customs, their traditions. Okay, so we are not talking about the shape of the eyes or the hair or the color of their skin. No, we're talking about their culture, their values, their customs, their traditions, their beliefs, their religions are different as well. We share the language, but we have so many different things. So when we meet somebody who is different from us in terms of beliefs, in terms of religion, in terms of culture, in terms of food habits, or food etiquette, table manners and etiquette, what should we do? Okay, so we'll talk more and more about culture practices, and how to tolerate culture differences, how to accept culture differences. If you want to have like a successful conversation or successful communication with the other, with the person who is different from you in terms of culture and language, we have some skills as well in order to have a successful communication and achieve your communication goals. This is very, very important. Now, I leave it there because we come from Islamic background. We have Islamic values and behaviors. We have halal and haram. Okay, and we have a lot of things that we are allowed to do and things that are not permissible, are not allowed as Muslims. For example, we are not allowed to eat pork. Pork لحم الخنزير أكرمكم الله. We are not allowed to drink alcohol, wine, etc., etc. الخمر. And there are some culturally unaccepted things. You know, or for example, we say عيب. It's culture is not appropriate to do this. But in other cultures, they don't expect them to have the same values, and things that are allowed in our culture might not be allowed in their culture, and vice versa. So we're talking about cultural differences. So it's not enough to acquire or to have like, you know, like other competences. It's, you know, you need more competences. You need the cultural competence or the knowledge. What is, I mean, the values and the traditions of other nations in order to know how to communicate with them successfully, and how to avoid misunderstandings, and how to avoid miscommunication, and how to avoid in other cases total communication or complete communication failure. Okay, and sometimes we say things that might upset them, and sometimes they say things that might upset us, but they don't know, they have no idea about our culture. So in order to avoid misunderstandings and miscommunication, and in order to achieve the communication goals, we need to have some cultural knowledge. Okay, I'll give you a lot of examples about culture differences that can create or make you more, or to increase your culture awareness about the culture differences and how to cope with them, how to deal with them successfully, of course. Okay, now the assessment, the grades. We have assignment. I'll give you 20 grades for the, or 20% for the assignment. Quizzes. We have 2 quizzes or maybe 1. Okay, project and presentation. Talk more about the project in the coming classes. It's going to be fairly simple, inshallah. Can do it at home and enjoy doing it. The second part of the assessment, the one with the 60%, we have assignment as well, and then we have the final exam. Okay. I think it's too early to talk about the exams and the quizzes because we have plenty of time to talk about them. Okay, and I don't think that the day 1 is the right time to talk about it. You are happy, you're eager to see your teachers, to enjoy their English and to learn from them, and partly to ask questions if you have questions. Okay, and I'll be more than happy to receive and answer all your your questions. Okay. This is the cover. Let's go back. Let's speak 3. I have some assignment from this textbook. I'll send you the questions and the listening tracks so you can listen and answer. I'm sure you'll find them, inshallah, fairly easy. And this is the cover page of the book. If you can download it from the internet. If you can't, I'll send you a PDF copy so you can start having a look and to check the different topics of this textbook. The main author here is Jack Richards, and Jack Richards is an outstanding figure in the field of teaching English as a foreign language, and he is a great author. He has hundreds and hundreds of books and research papers published online and elsewhere. Okay. So this is the hit cover, or the cover of the textbook. Now, we talk about technology. In previous classes, I used PowerPoint presentation. I'm using it now with you today. This class is recorded. I'm going to post it online on the Moodle, so you can watch it as many times as you want. You can stop the recording, check some words that you are not familiar with. Maybe the first time you listen to your professor, find some difficulty in understanding the message that he wants to convey, but this is okay. I mean, if you can understand like 20% of what I said, it's great. Okay, so you can listen as many times as you want. We're using technology in our classes, and this is online session. I use some online websites that are very interactive. I mean, students can communicate with their teacher and teacher communicate with them interactively. I love interactive classes. Okay, and hopefully we'll have live sessions later on. But I'll send you the link of the Zoom, and the time of the class and the password. Everything will be sent, inshallah, later on, so you can have access and you can enjoy the live session and the interactive session. Okay, and I'm sure hundreds of students are going to join this live session, and hopefully you'll have more opportunities to speak. Okay, just to unmute yourself and talk to us. Okay, some of you are very shy. I totally understand this, but if you want to develop your speaking fluency, proficiency, you need to speak the language. Make mistakes, it's fine. These mistakes are very healthy, but unless you try, you won't make any progress. As I said, I try to present my ideas in a coherent and pleasing way. And today I showed you the PowerPoint presentation. I explained some points here and there to make them easier for you. And I don't want you to think that all the classes are going to be like this one. I mean, the teacher is going to explain to us and we listen to him. Remember that this is oral communication class. The teacher knows how to speak, right? And but the thing is that you need to speak the language in order for the teacher to help you out to speak it and to be like your teacher. I'm sure some of you would say, well, in secondary school, our teachers were not speaking English all the time. Some of them spoke Arabic. Some of them spoke Palestinian English. Your accent, their accent, I totally understand. Okay, you are not the first cohort that I teach. Cohort دفعة. Maybe you are the 20th cohort. الدفعة ال20 أو يزيد. that I taught before. But what I want to say here is that in the first couple of years, your English is going to be perfect, inshallah. And I guarantee you, but manilko, that your English is going to go, if you listen to us, if you follow our tips and advice and guidance, okay. One day I remember I was like you. I was not same as fluent as today, okay, but I remember I was taught by great professors who helped us out to practice the language and to improve our fluency. Okay, some of you might say, teacher, how do you speak English that fluent? Do you think in Arabic and then you translate into English? How this process, how does it happen? It happens automatically with intensive type of an extensive type of practice. You will start thinking in English and words, the flow of words will come naturally, even without thinking, without previous preparation or planning. Okay, remember the name of the course, Oral Communication Skills. Remember, it's a skill. What I mean by a skill is by practice. This skill is going to be developed tremendously. Okay, I'll give you a lot of interesting examples later on, inshallah, in the course about how to develop this skill and how to become a good listener and good speaker. Okay, thank you for listening, guys. I really enjoyed your class, although I preferred live session or more to see you in class face-to-face and to enjoy the class together. But as I said, hopefully in the coming future, we'll have the opportunity to come to the university and see you person to person or face to face in class. Thank you so much. I'll see you inshallah in the coming week. في رعاية الله وأمنه والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. السلام عليكم.